I am Bindu from MSc Computer Science, second year, third semester, and my topic is about secure shell SSH. Let us see the concept of SSH. Introduction of SSH. SSH stands for secure shell. What is SSH? Secure shell SSH is a protocol for secure network communication designed to be relatively simple and inexpensive to implement. And what is the purpose of SSH? SSH provides a secure remote login facility to replace telnet and other remote login schemes that provide no security. SSH also provides a client-server capability and can be used for such network functions as file transfer and email, which means secure shell is a network communication protocol that enables two computers to communicate. Next, let us see the SSH protocol stack. SSH is organized as three protocols that typically run on top of TCP. SSH user authentication protocol authenticates client user to the server. SSH connection protocol multiplexes the encrypt tunnel into several logical channels. SSH transport layer protocol server authentication, confidentiality and integrity compression. And this is the diagram of SSH protocol stack. SSH transport layer protocol focus on three main functions. There are host key, packet exchange, key generation. And this is the diagram of SSH transport layer protocol. Transport layer protocol consists of host key. This is the diagram of host key. Here server, user A, user B, user C, user D, user F, user E, user F. Server authentication occurs at the transport layer based on the server processing a public-private key pair. A server may have multiple host keys using multiple different asymmetric encryption algorithms. Multiple host keys may share the same host key. In any case, the server host key is used during key exchange to authenticate the identity of the host. For this to be possible, the client must have prior knowledge of the server public host key. SSH transport layer consists packet exchange. Here this is the diagram of SSH transport layer protocol packet exchange client server, and it consists of established TCP connection, identification of string exchange, algorithm navigation, SSH key exchange, end of key exchange, server request. Key generation. The key used for encryption and MAC are generated for the shared secrets key K. The values are computed as follows. Initial fourth client to server hash KHA session ID. Initial fourth server to client hash KHB server ID. Encryption key client to server hash KHC session ID. Encryption key server to client hash KHD server ID. Integration key client to server hash KHE server ID. Integrity key server to client hash KHF session ID. Now let us see the user authentication of SSH. SSH user authentication protocol focuses on three main functions. There are message types and formats, message exchange, authentication methods. Here message types and formats. Three types of message are always used in the user authentication protocols. There are client side, server side, accept request, and the last one is server side reject request. client side byte SSH message user authentication request 50. String username, string service name, string method name. Server side accept request byte SSH message user authentication success 52. Server side reject request byte SSH message user authentication failure 51. Name list authentication that can continue boolean partial success. SSH user authentication protocol in message exchange. The message exchange involves the following steps. It has 6 steps. In the first step, client send SSH message user authentication request, and in second step, user name is not valid, then server and SSH user authentication failure. Step 3, server sends list of authentication method. Fourth step, client select on one of the method from the list and again send to the server. Fifth step, if more authentication method is required, then server send partial success value true. And the last step, sixth one, when all required authentication methods succeed, the server sends a SSH message user authentication success message. Next, authentication methods. The server may require one or more the following authentication methods. There are public key, host based, password. It means name suggests itself. This protocol is used for the authentication, so it is responsible for authenticates plan to the server. Next, let us see the SSH connection protocol. Focus on 3 main functions. There are channel mechanism, channel types, port forwarding, and this is the diagram of connection protocol. Channel mechanism. All the types of communication using SSH are supported using separate channel. For each channel, each side associates a unique channel number which need not to be the same at both ends. Life of the channel progress in 3 stages. There are opening a channel, data transfer, closing a channel. And channel types. 4 channel types are recognized in the SSH connection protocol specification. Session, remote execution of a program. Example, file transfer, email system, command or some built-in system. Once channel is open, subsequent requests are used to start the program. X level refers as X window system, graphics user interface for network computers, application run on server but to be displayed on desktop machine. Forwarded TCP IP refers as remote port forwarding. Direct TCP IP refers as local port forwarding. Port forwarding. Most useful features of SSH. Port is the identifier of TCP user. Port forwarding availability to convert any TCP insecure connection to secure SSH connection. Also refers as SSH tunneling. SSH supports 2 types of port forwarding. There are local port forwarding and remote port forwarding. Connection protocol, it means to responsible to create tunnel into several logical channels. And this is the diagram of connection protocol of port forwarding. Thank you.